What's up, guys? It's Unknown Facts. Today, we're talking about places that are absolutely insane to visit. Like, seriously, these destinations are for the most adventurous or maybe crazy people out there. Let's get started. First up, we've got Death Road in Bolivia. Now, this road is no joke. It's literally carved into the side of a mountain with a straight-up cliff drop-off on one side. No guardrails, nothing. People have actually died driving this road. You couldn't pay me enough to bike down this thing, which is the thing people actually do. Next up, we're heading to China, which is a long way from Bolivia, but trust me, this next one is just as wild. Okay, so picture this. You're climbing a mountain in China, right? It's not just any mountain, it's Mount Huashan, one of the most famous and treacherous peaks in the world. Sounds pretty normal so far. You start your journey with a serene climb, surrounded by breathtaking scenery and the peaceful sounds of nature. But then, you get to this part, where the only way up is a bunch of wooden planks nailed into the side of the cliff. It's like something out of an adventure movie. These planks are wobbly, and there are gaps between them where you can see straight down. The drop is dizzying, and your heart starts to race. Oh, and did I mention there's no railing either, just you as some rusty chains bolted into the rock and the abyss. It's a true test of courage and balance. They call this the plank walk in the sky, and it's part of the climb up Mount Huashan. It's both terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. People literally risk their lives for this view. The pictures look insane. The sense of accomplishment and the panoramic views make it all worth it. It's like one wrong step and you're toast. Every step must be taken with utmost caution. All right, enough about mountains for now, but remember, Mount Huashan is not just a climb, it's an unforgettable adventure. Chernobyl. Need I say more? This place is straight out of a horror movie. After the nuclear disaster in 1986, this entire city became a ghost town. People had to evacuate their homes, leaving everything behind. And now, it's this eerie time capsule frozen in the past. You can still see children's toys in abandoned schools and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Chernobyl is still radioactive. You need special permission to go there. And even then, you have to wear protective gear and monitor your radiation exposure. It's like stepping into another world. Speaking of untouched places, let's move on to a natural wonder that's equally as dangerous and beautiful. Chapter 4. Devil's Pool, Zambia. Imagine swimming at the edge of a waterfall. Now imagine that waterfall is Victoria Falls, one of the largest waterfalls in the world. That's Devil's Pool. It's this small, natural infinity pool perched right on the brink of a sheer drop. You can literally look over the edge and see the water cascading down hundreds of feet, but also terrifying, because one wrong move, one slip, and you're going over. People have died there, which is why they only allow swimming during certain times of year when the water level is lower. Even then, it's a risky swim. From one death-defying pool to another, let's head over to Spain for our next adventure. Chapter 5, El Caminito del Rey, Spain. Remember that plank walk in China, the one that makes your palms sweat just by looking at it? Well, get ready for El Caminito del Rey in Spain, because it's basically that, but longer, scarier, and with even more breathtaking views. This pathway was built over 100 years ago into the side of a gorge. Imagine the engineering marvel it was back then. We're talking narrow walkways, steep drops, and some seriously sketchy repairs over the years. It's not just a walk, it's an adventure. It used to be known as the most dangerous pathway in the world, a title it earned through its sheer audacity and peril. People actually died trying to cross it, which is why they closed it down for a while. The risks were just too high. They've since renovated it and made it safer, but it's still not for the faint of heart. The thrill remains, but with added safety measures. But hey, the views are supposed to be incredible. Panoramic vistas that make every step worth it. From Spain, we're heading back to the US for a climb that's not for the faint of heart. Get ready for another adrenaline rush. Chapter 6, Half Dome, USA. Next up, we're heading to Yosemite National Park in California to tackle Half Dome. This iconic rock formation is a bucket list item for hikers, but it's not an easy feat. We're talking a 14 to 16-hour hike, 8,800 feet of elevation gain, and some seriously exposed sections. And when I say exposed, I mean, you're literally clinging to the side of a giant rock face with cables for support. But the view from the top, absolutely breathtaking. Just make sure you're in good shape and you're not afraid of heights. Speaking of heights, let's talk about the big daddy of them all, Mount Everest. Okay, we've arrived at the ultimate adventure, Mount Everest. This beast of a mountain needs no introduction. It's the tallest peak in the world, and it's notoriously dangerous. We're talking extreme altitude, freezing temperatures, treacherous ice falls, and unpredictable weather. People literally risk their lives to summit this mountain. It's a massive physical and mental challenge, and sadly, not everyone makes it back down. But for those who do reach the summit, it's an accomplishment like no other. From the tallest mountain in the world to a rock formation that'll have you hanging on for dear life, let's head to Norway. Alright, so imagine this. You're standing on a giant rock that's jutting out over a sheer cliff face, thousands of feet above a lake. The wind is whipping through your hair and you can see for miles in every direction. That's Trolltunga. This iconic rock formation in Norway is a huge tourist destination, and for good reason. The pictures are insane, but getting there? That's a different story. We're talking a strenuous hike, like 10 to 12 hours round trip with some serious elevation gain, and then there's the whole standing on the edge of a cliff thing. There are no railings, no safety nets, nothing. But if you're up for the challenge, Trolltunga is an experience you won't forget. Get ready for some dramatic coastal views, because we're heading to the cliffs of Moher in Ireland. These iconic cliffs rise hundreds of feet above the Atlantic Ocean, and they are absolutely breathtaking, but they're also kind of terrifying. The wind up there is no joke. It can literally sweep you off your feet if you're not careful. And there are no railings along the edge, so you have to be really careful not to get too close, but the views are worth the risk. Right? Standing on the edge of the world, feeling the spray of the ocean on your face, it's an experience like no other. From Ireland, we're heading back to Norway for another heart-stopping natural wonder. Okay, so remember that rock in Norway that was jutting out over a cliff? Well, Kjeragbolten is kind of like that, but instead of a giant rock formation, it's a boulder. A giant boulder wedged between two cliffs, thousands of feet above a fjord. And guess what? People climb on it. They literally step out onto this wobbly rock, suspended over a sheer drop, and take pictures. It's insane. One wrong move, one gust of wind, and that's it. But hey, the pictures look pretty epic. From Norway, let's crank up the heat and head to one of the hottest places on Earth. Buckle up, because we're heading to the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia, one of the hottest and most inhospitable places on Earth. This remote region is known for its extreme conditions and otherworldly landscapes that challenge even the most seasoned adventurers. We're talking scorching temperatures, active volcanoes, toxic gases, and a landscape that looks like it's straight out of another planet. The Danakil Depression is home to Erta Ale, one of the few continuously active volcanoes in the world, with its mesmerizing lava lake. The ground is covered in these vibrant yellow and orange sulfur deposits, and there are bubbling pools of acid everywhere. These striking colors and formations are a result of the intense geothermal activity beneath the surface. It's a photographer's dream, but it's also incredibly dangerous. The stunning visuals come with the risk of toxic fumes and unstable ground, making every step a calculated risk. People have died there from heat stroke, dehydration, and even falling into boiling hot springs. The extreme heat can reach up to 50 degrees Celsius, and the lack of water sources makes it a perilous journey. But if you're up for the challenge and you want to experience something truly unique, the Danakil Depression is waiting. It's a place where few dare to venture, but those who do are rewarded with an unforgettable experience. For our final stop, let's take a trip to a forest that's as beautiful as it is eerie. This mystical place offers a stark contrast to the harshness of the Danakil Depression, showcasing the diverse beauty of our planet. Last but not least, we're ending our journey in Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest, at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. This dense, eerily silent forest has a dark history and a reputation for being haunted. It's a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of seeking help when you need it. But despite its dark history, Aokigahara Forest is also a place of natural beauty with towering trees, moss-covered grounds, and a sense of tranquility that's both unsettling and captivating. Alright guys, those were 12 of the most dangerous attractions in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little lightheaded after all that adventure. Seriously though, those places are insane. Would you ever visit any of them? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our crazy adventures. Peace out.